Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well and that you're staying safe and that you are able to enjoy your weekend as much as is possible. Today's reading is going to be just a general checkup for Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, either twin flame connections or divine soulmates. Alright, I do have a little announcement. I am doing a special offer for the next week. So if you book a basic or an extended reading with me until next Sunday, you will get a free little follow-up reading, which will probably be like 10 to 15 minutes on the same person or on the same situation, 2 to 4 weeks following your reading. All right, so if you want to take advantage of that, it's going to be until next Sunday. I believe it's the 12th of April, but I'm gonna have to double check that. All right, so yeah, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm just feeling so grateful for you guys. Like really, some of you, I feel like I've just, come so close with some of you, through the emails or through regular personal readings. Your feedback is just amazing, and I don't know, I'm just so grateful, and I thank you guys so much. So with that, let's get started. All right, so we're gonna get just the general energy for the masculines and then for the feminines. So they might be in karmic relationships, maybe you're in a karmic relationship, or maybe you're not at all, and maybe they're not at all. It doesn't matter, this is general. Let's see. What are the masculines currently going through? What is going on with them? That is way too many. So I apologize for, I think it was in the last video, my throat kept acting up, and I just really feel like sometimes there are energies that want to block messages from coming through. We have complicated. For the masculines, let's see what else. I'm gonna get a couple more from this deck here. So yeah, I feel like, I remember saying that they were going through a really tough phase. Lessons and mute. In the last video that we did. And I feel like that is just really continuing on. Like, it's also the energy of what is going on right now that is just making everything a little bit more complicated for them, but I'm really getting that this is actually in a very positive light. It's complicated because all of these suppressed feelings are being pushed up to the surface. So they thought they felt one way, but now they're thinking they're feeling a different way. They were having different thoughts. They thought their life was going in a different direction, and now it's kind of all like just getting all mixed up. But as we had seen in a previous recent reading, they're learning their lessons, and I really do feel like they are crash coursing their lessons. Like they're just learning them very fast right now. Like they're being pushed by spirit to really learn them really quickly because they have fallen behind. There were delays in the past. It's like they were procrastinating, they were resisting, and now it's kind of like they don't have a choice. Now they have to learn like the hard way or just really quickly. And this is part of the reason why a lot of them are holding back. So you might be in complete separation. Maybe this happened recently, or maybe you've been in separation for a while. It doesn't matter. Or maybe if you are in communication, maybe they have pulled back a little bit. And this is the reason why. It's because they are processing all of these lessons, which to them in their minds feel very complicated. All right, so let's see what's going on with the divine feminines. So I might not be tapping into the same group in every reading, so you might find that one reading resonates with you and maybe another one doesn't. And you will probably know, like from the first few cards, all right? We have the fledgling, ooh. All right, so something new is going on with the feminines. I feel like you feel like you're taking a step in a new direction, or feeling something new that you haven't felt before. And that could be, and we'll see now, but it could be in relation to how you are perceiving the situation, Muse. Let's get one more. Okay, what's going on with these feminines? And guide. And we keep getting this for the feminines. So, you know, it's that you're really following your inner guidance. And with Muse also being here, it's like you are getting inspiration from the universe. You are really tapping into your higher selves and following that guidance. And that is pushing you in a new direction. Like, it's like you are kind of trusting. That's what I'm getting. You are trusting this push, this inspiration that you're getting as guidance in a new direction. And I'm just really getting that this new direction is release. We didn't get a release card right at the moment, but that's just what I'm getting. It's like you are being inspired by your own life in other areas of your life other than your divine masculine. That doesn't mean you're not disappointed concerning the connection. It just means that it's like you're growing new wings and able to fly in a new direction now. All right. Let's see. Let's get a general feel for what is going on more specifically in the masculine's life right now. All right, and we have the Three of Wands in reverse. We have the Sun in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And the Page of Wands. Okay, so that was one more than I wanted, but it's all good. All right, so they're still in a state of depression. They're still in a state of depression and still not feeling like they have their shit together. And this is what I'm saying with this complicated and the lessons coming up. And remember when I said because there was a delay, well, here it is, the Three of Wands in reverse. It's like because of this delay, and it's almost like just things in general in their life, not even just concerning the connection with their feminine, but whatever it is that they've been doing has delayed them. And it's like they know this now. And this is what is causing them to be depressed and to feel like things just didn't work out the way they thought, that they're not standing in their power. A lot of them don't feel independent. They don't feel like they have found their self-worth. And they're just feeling this disappointment because they have been procrastinating in taking steps to move their life forward. I love the fact that we have the Page of Wands at the end though, because this is showing that because they're seeing this and because they're learning these lessons, this is giving them that spark. This is like an initiation of their drive and of their motivation to move forward. Like they don't want to stay in this type of an energy. All right, so let's actually look a little bit deeper. Let's see how they're feeling towards what they're feeling and thinking towards their feminine. Let's see. We have the Seven of Swords. Chariot and the Nine of Swords. So they they're very anxious. They're very anxious. They're very stressed still. We are going to clarify, but I just want to get a few cards for what they're thinking, and then we'll clarify. So let's see what's going on in their headspace. What are they thinking concerning this situation? What are they thinking? And we have Judgment. In reverse, we have Temperance. And we have the Two of Wands. This is a new deck, so that's why it's... if it seems like I'm taking a while to call out the cards, it's because I'm not familiar with the images, and so I have to see which card it is. Okay, so let's actually clarify. They're definitely feeling, I'm getting actually with the Seven of Swords that they almost feel deceived by their feminines. As ironic as that might sound to some. Because obviously, in many situations, it is the masculine who has in some way deceived the feminine. But I'm almost getting like, it's like they know this, right? They're feeling this. They're feeling that deceit. But at the same time, I can't help but feel like they're feeling that way about the feminine, but in a completely different way. So maybe you ghosted them, or maybe you stopped talking to them, or maybe you are moving on into another relationship, or maybe they're just picking up on this energy of you just really moving forward in a new direction. And so they're kind of feeling like you're not there. It's almost as if they're feeling like you have slipped away from them, like snuck away. So it's not really that they feel like you have deceived them exactly. It's more like that you are just kind of slipping away. And I'm getting that for some of you, it might be that they actually have like something tangible to base this on. And for others, it's just an energetic type of a feeling. So let's see the Chariot. They're definitely feeling like they want to come forward, but like they're feeling this drive, like just like I said with the Page of Wands here, and then we have the Chariot here. So they're feeling this push forward. But because things are complicated and they're still learning their lessons, I'm just getting that it's like they're not ready. They're not ready yet to take this step. This is just what they're feeling. It's like it's boiling inside of them. And I know you're probably so tired of hearing something like that, or, you know, similar type of an energy, like, yeah, they're almost ready, or they're feeling it and just not doing it. I know it's frustrating, but I'm not choosing the cards. All right, this is what is coming out. And we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So this is confirming exactly what I just said. Like, exactly. Like, it's like they have planted the seeds, like, within themselves, right? Which is that of motivation. And they're still kind of waiting for go time. They're still waiting for the fruit to be ripe. And that fruit is really, you know, their inner intuition, which is going to tell them when they are ready, because they have to learn these lessons. They have to clear that up. Otherwise, it will be prematurely. And this is why it's in reverse, because they are still waiting for the right time. But it's like it's boiling. It's brewing. I am getting, I mean, the way these cards are set up here, I am getting that they are feeling this a lot more than they were in the recent past. Let's see, Nine of Swords. They're very stressed. And I do feel that the reason why they're stressed is because they're feeling you slip away from them. Why is the Nine of Swords here? Yeah. The Page of Cups in reverse, because they're not sure that you are going to accept their offer or that you still have an offer for them. It used to be that the offer from the feminine was like right on the table, waiting for the masculine. And right now, they're not sure that that's the case anymore. They're not sure if you can forgive them as well. All right, so in their headspace, it's like they're being a little bit critical of themselves, but in a way that might actually be a good thing, because it might be the push that they need in order to find this balance with the Temperance card here. And they're thinking actually they're thinking that they need to be balanced in order to have a strategy and come towards you in the right way with this Two of Wands here. And actually with this Two of Wands, it's like the steps to the doorway. It's like they see the steps. They can see the steps that they need to take. It's almost as if they know what these steps are. But like I said, they're waiting for the right time in order to take them. But it's like they're actually seeing the steps now. Three of Pentacles in reverse. So actually what I'm getting with this is that for a lot of them who might be in karmic relationships, they know that this is what needs to go. They know that this is something that needs to be removed from the equation. All right, regardless of whether it's a person that they were with before meeting the feminine or if it is somebody that they met after the feminine. And then for others, it's that they don't need someone else's approval. It's kind of like, I feel like this is actually like a part of their lessons here, is really learning that this is their own life. This is their own life. No one else can do this for them. There's not going to be like a magic wand that appears and just all of a sudden makes things right and puts them in the position that they want to be in. They have to do it. They're going to have to do the hard work on their own, and they can't have help from others in the sense that no one else can actually do it for them. No one else is going to change the situation. If they're with a karmic partner, they can't wait for the karmic partner's consent. They can't wait until, everybody is just okay with that. Or, if they don't have a karmic partner, whatever the case might be. No one else is going to make it easier on them. They might be getting help from others, either therapists or life coaches or their friends, but ultimately, no amount of just discussing it or getting advice is going to make that change. They have to take that step, or the steps. All right. So this is actually good that they're thinking this, right? Because it felt like recently they were really worried about their self-image and what other people are going to think, or being accepted, or what is socially correct. And now it's kind of like they're playing with this idea that that doesn't really matter, because they're tired of being unhappy. And they're stressed because they feel like they might be losing the feminine. Alright, so before we get into the future energies, let's actually see what is going on with the feminines. Alright, so what is going on with the feminines generally? What is the feminine's energy? Oh, the Hierophant, the Five of Wands, Hanged Man in reverse. And the Ace of Cups. So the feminines are really moving towards self-love. This is what this fledgling card was about, the Muse and the Guide. This is the new direction. And for some of you, maybe you've been in this direction for a while, but there's just something new about it. For some reason, you feel like it's different this time. It's like you realize that you deserve this commitment. It's like you have this newfound sense of what it really means to be deserving, to really believe that you deserve this commitment from this person. And not only a commitment, but that it's like you are worthy of being fought for. You're worthy of being fought for. And it's like if this person, your masculine, isn't fighting for you, you don't want to stay stuck there. That's why we have the Hanged Man in reverse. I'm actually seeing this in a very positive light here. You don't want to be the martyr. You're not going to just sacrifice yourself anymore, sacrifice your happiness, waiting for this person to learn their lessons and to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. You are finding like a new type of self-love for yourself. Because there's always more. Like even if you felt like you had self-love before, there's always more that you can discover, and that is what I'm picking up on right now for the feminines. This doesn't mean you're not feeling pain. This doesn't mean that you're not feeling rejection from the masculine. I actually think that it's the rejection that you felt recently that has pushed you in this direction. And yeah, I am still planning on doing a video that would be just on that topic. I just need to organize my thoughts for that video, but I do plan on doing it. So yeah, like I think this is actually very good for the feminines. I feel like it's very difficult with this Five of Wands here also, that it is a struggle. It is a struggle, but it's like you're managing it. And I feel like you're managing it actually a lot more efficiently than you thought you would. Kind of like when the hardest part of a struggle is over, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't so bad. But while you're going through it, it's like horrible. I'm almost getting like that sense. Not that you don't feel like it was difficult, but almost like it's almost as if you're impressed with yourself as well. That you were able to overcome this. Not that you have overcome it completely, but that you have been able to get to the point where you are now. Even if you're still in pain, even if you're still hurting, you are finding self-love. And you are beginning to have new feelings of self-worth and what you deserve and what you will tolerate and what you will not. All right, let's see. I mean, I feel like this was pretty straightforward. But yeah, let's see how you're feeling with your masculine. And see how maybe that has affected how the masculine is feeling and thinking. What? See? The Devil in reverse, you guys. I'm telling you, this is detachment. This is so awesome. The Queen of Cups in reverse. And the King of Wands. All right, so actually what I'm getting with this, I feel like these two go together, is that you are managing your emotions. It's like you're beginning to have more awareness of your emotions, and therefore you are able to balance them out and overcome. You're able to overcome the deep, negative, toxic emotions that you once had. The emotions that you were allowing to just really take over your life. It's like now with this King of Wands here and the Devil being in reverse, you are detaching from that and able to have control over your emotions, but in a way that is not denial. I mean, you always have to be a little bit careful as to whether you are in denial of your feelings, and that make sure it's not just a self-defense mechanism and that you're not just covering up your emotions. Like, always allow yourself to feel what you want to feel, but then take control of them without suppressing them. Okay? And I know that's easier said than done, but I feel like you guys are doing that anyway. I'm just kind of like saying this just to encourage you to keep doing that. Or maybe you haven't even been aware that you've been doing that, and by hearing it, you might be like, oh yeah, you know, I kind of have been doing that. Let me do more of it. So that is like my purpose for telling you guys. And I feel like this is exactly why, because you are doing this, this is why the masculine is also feeling that you are slipping away with the Seven of Swords, just like I said when I first saw the card. Because you are detaching. And even though this is a good thing, it is stressing them out. It is stressing them out, but they need the stress. Just like the feminine needed the rejection in order to get to this point of self-love and to this point of having control over his or her emotions. And it's this rejection that pushed the feminine to detach. It is this stress and this feeling of losing the feminine that is also going to push the masculine forward. Okay? It works both ways. In the same way it worked for the feminine, it's very similar to how it's also working for the masculine. Okay? So don't think that just because we have the Nine of Swords here that it means that they're staying stuck. I'm not seeing any stuckness really from them other than just waiting, but this waiting is not stuckness right here, because it's clarifying the Chariot. And the Chariot is ultimately movement. It's just movement at the moment that's not visible because it's working behind the scenes. All right, in their conscience and in their subconscious. It's in their minds and it's also in their hearts. All right, it's like at all levels within where this is working, and there's a progression here. The Chariot, for me, it's always a progression forward. So this is actually very positive. Okay, so let's get into some future energies. So let's see. What is coming up for the masculines in the near future? So near future, like I always say, is about a week to 2 weeks for these videos of whenever you watch them. So what is coming up in the next week or so? We have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands. Let's get one more. And then we'll look at likely actions towards the feminine as well. Oh, look at that, the Tower. See, it's going to peak. This stress here, this complicatedness of lessons, that is peaking, you guys, coming up very, very shortly. So I just want to clarify this Nine of Wands in reverse, but I really see this climaxing in the next couple of weeks. Like, I see this Tower as lessons learned. And I feel like it's just going to be like very, very suddenly. That all of their past, everything they've known up to now is just going to come crashing down. And look at this, we have the King of Swords. Gaining clarity. With the Nine of Wands here, I just see this, like how it's, the way it's building up is that they are just going to be extremely exhausted. And also feeling extremely hurt and wounded by the feminines, to the point where they feel like giving up. And it's like that's when the peak is, that's when the climax is. It's like just when they feel like they're giving up, and it's like bam, clarity. Clarity and decisiveness. Thinking rationally. And what comes back? The Ace of Wands. Right? That motivation from the Page of Wands, where it's just like an initiation. It's like really feeling that push even more. And that's why they're going to have the Tower. Let's see if they're likely to take any actions with their feminines in the next week or so. And this Tower is going to be different for each of them, right? I mean, it's like, it's kind of like whatever it is that's holding them back. Whatever it is that was like a false belief. Whatever was toxic. Whatever wasn't working for them. Look at that, the Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune. Definitely a turn in direction. So the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, when I get the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like Spirit is never very specific in terms of action, what it's going to be. But it's definitely a turn for the better. Like after the Tower, having the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, that's just crazy change. All right, we do have Strength in reverse. Let's get one more. Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which I just happened to notice. Let's see. And the Fool. All right, are you guys seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana in a row here? And all three for their actions are major arcana, which this doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to see this action. I'm actually getting that you're not, for a lot of you, because of the Strength card in reverse. And I'm not so much getting that they don't have strength. I do feel that they are building their strength. I feel like what Spirit is trying to say here is that this is something that they're still working on, and that they will be working on. And it's not just strength and courage, it's also their balance. Like what I'm getting is really balancing out this drive, but having it tamed in a way where it's going to be in alignment with their higher self and with their path. And it's kind of like a merging of their rational mind and their heart space. Like they need to be at this mature level. And I feel like this Tower is what's going to help to push that forward. We do have the Fool though, which does talk about having a new start, you know, and into something that is unknown, something new, taking a new direction. I'm almost getting it's like they're following, you know, the feminine's footsteps by actually doing something that is unknown, except the difference is they're doing it towards the feminine, whereas the feminine did that like away from the masculine. And so actually what I'm getting here is that It's kind of like what I was saying before about the behind the scenes progression. I feel like that is continuing on within the next week or two, but it's just amplified. Amplified by a lot. With this wheel being here and with the Fool being here. This is actually really, really amazing. I feel like it's just huge, especially after the Tower. Like this Tower is just changing. It's like they're changing the way they're viewing things. They're changing their perceptions. They're changing the way they're thinking. And I feel like this is going to be like deep-rooted change. Like it's not just on the surface. And this is actually why you might not see these actions, because it's something that is so like fundamental and is so deeply rooted that it does take time to process. And I feel like that's also what the Strength in reverse is here. That it's like they need to process that. They need to tame almost this new way of being. It's like a huge, huge upgrade for them spiritually. I feel like for a lot of them, this is going to be a spiritual awakening actually. And it's just pushing them to be ready for this new life that they're about to leap into. I'm just so strongly getting like just something very, very new for them. It's almost as if they're going to be stripped of everything they've known or everything they thought or that they believed about themselves or about society. That's coming crashing down, and it's just the wheel is turning in a completely different direction. All right, so I'm actually going to use a different deck just to see any other messages that want to come through for the feminines. Any other messages for the feminines? The Four of Swords. Rest, heal, meditate. Really take advantage of this time if you are working less, or if you might be working but forced to stay home rather than do whatever your normal activities would be after work or, over the weekend. Do take advantage of this time to just really rest and do some soul searching, because that's just going to help to support this energy here that you're already in, and it will push you even further along your path. Like really tap into your intuition. Maybe even try to become more intuitive. Maybe take a course on intuition. Maybe read up on that. Maybe, just anything that you feel that gets you in touch with your inner self and your higher self, with your spirit guides, with your angels. All right, so to close out, let's see what the masculine would want to tell you at this point in time. Let's see, what messages does the masculine have for the feminine right now? Abandoned, signs. Yeah, see, they are feeling abandoned, but that is not a bad thing. Purge. They're going through a really hard time. And you know what? And even feeling this way, like you're slipping away from them, I feel like that's part of their lesson. Like they are having whatever abandonment wounds they may have had from the past, those are coming up to be healed. And the reason why I'm saying this isn't a bad thing is because we also have signs, right? It's like this, it's exactly what I was saying before, that the fact that they are feeling their feminine pull away is like a sign to them to move forward, right? In a subconscious way. Like I'm not saying that they're consciously thinking that, but that is what is pushing them forward. It's kind of like it's a subliminal sign to them, like energetically, for them to move forward. And they're purging their childhood wounds, their abandonment issues, they're purging whatever is toxic in their lives, learning their lessons, and really moving forward. So it's kind of like Spirit is saying, and actually the masculines here are saying, that's why they are withdrawn. That's why they're mute. That's why you might see that you might not feel like you know what's going on with them and that they're not revealing everything, because they are really going through a very hard time right now. And it hasn't even peaked yet, all right? This tower is coming up in the near future. All right, so let's just get one last card here just to close out. Any final messages from Spirit to whoever might be watching this video that felt like it resonated with them? And please do let me know if it does. And feel free to share any stories in the comments. I love reading about your unique situations. Or even if you're feeling any fear related to the pandemic or what is going on, feel free to reach out or to just, write about it. I feel like that can always be helpful, and you don't know who else you might be helping that might actually read your comments. Okay, let's give it one more go. Any final messages for the feminines, please, Spirit? Okay, so I'm gonna take this one. Oops, soulmates. See, again, I love it when this happens, how this card always comes up at the end so often for the feminines. All right, so if this reading was resonating with you, this is definitely a divine soulmate connection or a twin flame connection. And I'm only gonna take the one that shows. I'm not gonna take the back one. I don't even know what it was. Serendipity, okay? There are synchronicities that are happening, just like there are signs for the masculine. There are also signs and synchronicities happening for you in your life that are showing you that this is a soulmate connection, and that are also helping to guide you, to move you forward. All right, so don't ignore them. Keep your eyes open and be receptive to these messages from the universe, right? By resting, being peaceful, meditating, and just working on your intuition. Alright guys, that was it. Please give me a like if this resonated, and don't forget to take advantage of the special offer if you would like to have a free little mini follow-up reading in 2 to 4 weeks after you book your reading. Alright, and this offer is actually only good for a basic or an extended reading. Alright, thank you guys so much. Much love.